Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon will come off turn 12 and score his 8th road course checkered flag.
Jeff Gordon here has not won a race yet this year. We know he's the king of the road.
But let me tell you one thing. He may not have won any races, Jeff Gordon, but I know something he has done. He's going to go into the chapel.
Going to get married?
Yeah, I heard he got engaged last night. He's going to get married. And
you have a good source?
Yes, his mama told me.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good source.
Yeah, it is.
She told me not to tell anybody, but I can't keep that.
You can't keep quiet. Darrell, for you, 15 seconds. Jeff Gordon's second worst starting spot here, but he was fast in practice. How do you think he'll do today? And how badly, even though you know he's going to get married here, does he need this win? He hasn't gone 0 for 15 more than twice to start a year.
Look at the size of that diamond ring I saw down there. He needs this win pretty bad, I got to tell you. No, I can't bet against Jeff. He's the master on the road course, and I tell you why. He's
contradicting himself.
Well, no, he was picking Kurt Busch. Go ahead.
I like Jeff because he is the best of both worlds. He's a great oval track racer, and he's a good road racer, and you take the combination of the two. That's why he's won so many races on these road courses.
Thank you for clarifying.
All right, I'm glad you got that straightened out.
Jeff Gordon going for his 9th all-time road course victory, gearing up, and we'll take you down trackside for opening ceremonies.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please, stir hats as we listen to our invocation from Raceway Ministries, Miss Tina Coleman.
Please pray.
Thank you, Tina. And now our national anthem performed by Chris Isaac and Kenny Dale Johnson. Oh, say.
I like to rap.
You're not overrated, are you?
Sometimes I might be. I was last year, obviously.
Back here in row 6, it's Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart. Now, Jeff Gordon has 8 road course wins, more than any driver in NASCAR history. 4 of those wins have come here at the INFINEON Raceway. He was leading last year before a bad transmission knocked him out of a chance to win the race. They have switched to a different transmission here this weekend. Big picture, Jeff Gordon has dropped out of the top 10 in points. He needs a win here.
It really is. It's a challenge. You have to be kind of talented, have the versatility. I think is what makes Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon so good at these places.
Mar 350 rolling your way on Fox.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
It's definitely a real challenge for the drivers to go from oval tracks and being in these big, fast corners to driving in a corner, hard braking, downshifting, and then shooting back out of the corner.
Duck to the inside, out braking, getting down into turn 11. Good passing zone.
And Jeff Gordon in the 24, he's going to try to take advantage of it as well. Right now they've got Biffle hooked on the outside, but Biffle got a pretty good fight off turn 11.
Jeff Gordon battling, or actually he's gotten past Casey Kane, and that'll move him up into 8th place.
You know, Jeff's won a lot of races here, as we have said, but I don't know that I ever saw him. I don't remember him starting that far back. And that makes it even more different. That makes it difficult.
But there's certainly a reason he started that far back. He was off the racetrack almost all the way from turn 8 to turn 10 in qualifying.
He draws a bead on Mark Martin. Now they're about 7 seconds behind the leader. Jeff Gordon in 7th, Mark Martin in 8th. Pass for 6th place. Jeff Gordon has just worked to the inside of Boris Said, who had been chasing Tony Stewart but fell back into Gordon's clutch.
It almost appears to me, Mike, that Boris is having a brake problem. Something happened to him in these tight turns.
Well, we're getting
The 24 Gordon's expected to also make his visit now.
Instead of pitting, and the pit entrance is between turns 10 and 11 here. You come all the way around the outside of 11, and half the pit road is before turn 12, half of it's after.
By the Home Depot guys. 24, Jeff Gordon is in. Now Steve Letarte was going to try to tighten him up, pull both spring rubbers out of both rear springs. His car is extremely free.
Got spun out there, Jimmy.
Jeff Gordon coming up into the lead battle. 3rd place right there.
Looks like they've adjusted on his car today and made it a lot better because he is moving now.
Yes, he is. He had spent in excess of $400,000, more than he ordinarily would spend to get into an automobile race, just to try to win this thing. His driver, Fellows, has won in NASCAR's Busch Series, in the Craftsman Truck Series, finished 2nd twice in the Cup Series. But with all the problems that they have had today, the most serious is the chassis. That expensive new chassis just hasn't hooked up.
Well, the biggest...
Gordon in the 24 on the move. DW said the car loose everywhere. Meanwhile, the other Gordon, Robbie.
Leader Ryan Newman has company coming. Jeff Gordon has climbed to second spot and Kurt Busch to third. Kevin Harvick back to fourth.
And just to go back to Ron Fellows, what Ron Fellows needs is what Tony Stewart got a while ago. He's still on the lead lap. He just needs a caution to get caught back up. But he needs it pretty quick because this race is going to go by in a hurry.
I tell you, it's going to go by in a hurry when that 24 jumps up there and takes the lead, because he's setting a blistering pace right now, and they have definitely improved his car. And no question about Jeff being a great road racing driver. So he's coming up there. He's going to get the lead here shortly.
In the 15th position, remember how hard he hit the wall, but we got a battle for the lead, boys. Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, all over the back of the rear bumper. Ryan Newman in the 12.
Hard to make passes right where he was, but watch Jeff. He'll get a little run. He'll fall back here just a little bit. Now he's going to come down here to turn 10. He's going to close up right here, try to get underneath the 12. Get good run off of turn 10. Look to the inside and try to outbrake him getting down in here, and he does.
Take the position away if he can get that good forward bite off the bottom. And he will win the battle off of the last corner up past the start-finish line. Gordon will lead this lap.
He had to clear Newman before that left-hander, though, or that would have put him on the outside instead of the inside.
You say hello, Newman, and I say goodbye.
Jeff Gordon to the lead over the Penske duo of Newman and Kurt Busch. Busch was our pole sitter, and he has led this race the most number of laps so far, 29 laps. So as Jeff Gordon goes to the lead, we'll pay off our singular virtual crew chief question. Who is NASCAR's leading king? 52 laps in, and Jeff Gordon's lead over Ryan Newman has grown to 1 second, Matt.
Right now, the top three, Mike, just trying to be patient. Now, if Gordon can hold on and score a victory, it'll be the second time in his career that he's had to wait until outside of the first third of the season to score the season's first win. Now, the car is still on the free side, while the guy in his mirror, Ryan Newman, in the 12, his car, like Gordon, free on exit, while the two of Busch on the tight side going down into one.
Now, while we're talking about Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, I want to make a note about his teammate again, Brian Vickers in the 25 car. We made note of him earlier. He started all the way back in the 42nd position. He has now cracked the top 15.
Third, right behind his Penske Racing teammate Ryan. Jeff Gordon leading with 55 laps complete, halfway.
You can't fear anyone or any track.
Boris said, we didn't show you how it happened, but now we can. It was turn 11.
Still about 10 to 12 laps away from that window we've been talking about.
How the sport evolves. We used to try to use one of them. NASCAR wouldn't let us. That was not, they didn't want us sticking out there on that A post, and they didn't want you to have a mirror on the A post.
The $1,000 scholarship to the Urban Youth Racing School.
9 to 11 laps for what would be a final pit.
Look at how tight this lead pack is.
Oh, yeah. This 12 car, Ryan Newman, has been nipping away on the back bumper of that 24. 24 has lost a little bit of his advantage he had there a while ago. I'm pretty impressed with both the 12 and the 2 today. They've been very right front the whole day, right there in the top 2 or 3. But by the same token, the two best road racers, in most people's opinion, the 24 and the 20, are getting closer to the front and closer together. Obviously, the 24 is leading, but here comes the 20, inching his way right in the picture.
And he has had a very eventful day.
Yes, he has.
Speeding on pit road under the first pit stop. A lot of damage on the left front fender. The tire was rubbing for a while.
And this 5 car, Gordon drops off to the pit lane, Matt.
And it seems like Robbie Fay took a turn for the worse ever since he had the contact with the 60 of Boris said. The car hasn't been the same. And you see on the right side of your screen, Robbie making his way to his pit stall. Thought he might have had a tire going down. They're also going to try to work on the cosmetic issues of the fender.
You just can't work on it right now. You got to make this stop and get out of here.
Again, this stop will come for Robbie Gordon with 46 laps to go. Not known for getting great fuel mileage. This, I think, again, he's going to have to make one more stop for fuel near the end.
Reed Sorensen, also a quick stop. I'm very impressed with Ryan Newman. For a fellow who came out of the Midwest racing open wheelers on oval tracks, he is really showing some road course prowess today.
He's actually got a lot better car than Jeff Gordon right now. But the problem is there's only, again, 2 places to pass. They just went by one of them. The other one's up there at the top of the hill at turn 7. You can't get it done there. It's pretty much follow the leader.
Darrell, I want to propose a question to you. Jeff Gordon, I mean, obviously he knows about this place. He knows how to win. He knows how to lose here. But do you think with him knowing he's coming to pit road in 5 to 6 laps, he's only going to run that car as hard as it needs to right now?
Yeah, I think you're right, Larry, but I also think that the timing of if the tires are gone and you're getting close to a pit window, this is when you want the car to be the worst. You know, it's supposed to be bad right now. You put Jeff Gordon in front on a road course, it's pretty hard to get around him.
1.5 seconds.
And I believe we're right there at the edge of that window. I think they can make it here. If they couldn't, they wouldn't have made a pit stop.
This race is doing what it historically does. A lot of cautions early.
Rangers, no adjustments for Greg Biffle. Left side tires going on. Matt. 42 laps to go. Jeff Gordon still the leader, but Newman on pit road. No changes for the 12, trying to score his second top 5 finish here at Infineon. 13.8 seconds for Newman.
Morissette is in, the top road course ringer in this race. Mark Martin completes his stop. Jeff Burton.
When you look at Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, those guys, when they get to the window, they can make it to the end. They've got to hit pit road, because if a caution comes now, they're burned. And you see Tony Stewart's on pit road right now in the 20.
Scott Pruitt is in as well.
Right now, if a caution comes out, Jeff Gordon would be in big trouble.
But he's got to go to the window that he thinks he can make it. And I'll tell you another thing a lot of crew chiefs are thinking. They want a little bit of insurance, because we always stand a chance of overtime, a green, white, checkered beyond lap 110.
So Gordon stays on track. Stewart has given up the lead. Here he comes to his pit stall. Matt.
Steve Letarte, Gordon's crew chief, sticking with his game plan of about 10 laps after the restart. On the right side of your screen, Tony Stewart's in. Now, Greg Zipadelli was told by Stewart, don't be shy, take a big swing at it. We really need to get this car to turn better on the right-hand corners. We over-adjusted on the last stop, 14.9 seconds for Stewart. Gordon should be in next time.
And if you notice, they didn't spend a lot of time working on those fenders on that 20 car, because they didn't want to give up that much.
Boyer has made his stop. Gordon is still the leader. He has the fastest lap of the race, and now here he comes to pit road. The pit road speed limit starts right there. Jeff?
Mike, we've been talking about you've got to get to where your window works. But the key thing here right now, guys, and we're going to see it as these pit stops kind of play out, is having to try to get to those windows. It could put you way back down in track position. It could also hurt you. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how good Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart are coming back through traffic right now. And Matt Yoke was down there, I think, in the 24th pit. Matt?
Now, Gordon's team will make an air pressure adjustment on the stop. Gordon said the car was loose, really bad on the lefts, not as bad loose on the right, so they're going to try to correct that with an air pressure adjustment for the 4-time winner here at Infineon. Great stop by the DuPont guys.
13.9 seconds, great stop. Nice stop by the 24 bunch, guys. I mean, that was quick.
Ryan Newman right with him after pit stops.
Just like they went in.
Yep. Greg Biffle is there. Stewart is there. Now they're trailing Jimmy Johnson by 5.5 seconds. Jeff Green has made his stop. So has Denny Hamlin. The two fellows who are stretching and staying out are Terry Labonte and Jeremy Mayfield, who will be second and third right now.
Well, they're not stretching it as far as fuel, because those guys were on pit road on the last caution at lap 60, but they're stretching it if a caution comes out.
Right. Steve?
Jeff Gordon is just, I mean, really starting to flex some muscle here late in this race. Ryan Newman's trying to keep pace, but so far they got him on and off pit road without any kind of issues. And Jeff Gordon, again, the minor adjustments they made early on, he looks like he, you know, if you want to win this race, you got to go up there and take it away from him.
Well, he's the king of the road, leading in his 10th race this year, but he's yet to win a race, and only twice in his career as he started out the first 15 races without getting a win. Hoping for that today, moving up to second ahead of Ryan Newman, right behind Terry Labonte. Let's rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
See a lot of folks at the races across the country using the NEXTEL fan view, including some of our Fox Sports staff. And interest, Labonte the leader, Jeff Gordon the fastest car on the racetrack. The bad news, Dick, is he has a 10-second lead on Jeff Gordon. He is 1 second a lap slower, and there's a lot more than 10 laps remaining. But look how that lead has shrunk over Jeff Gordon in the last 4 laps. 2 victories on the road course as Gordon works on P.J. Jones, who has gone 2 laps down.
PJ had a radiator problem and was running hot several laps ago.
But he's now back up to speed.
But I have noticed that Jeff Gordon's car, about halfway through for the first half of the run, is pretty darn good. But the last half of a run, seems like he has trouble getting around slower cars, doesn't handle quite as good. And back there, Ryan Newman is the 3rd car back.
Jeff Gordon closing.
Fuel, I don't believe it'll save 4 gallons, but it'll save a lot of fuel.
Well, and it's even if he can make it to the end, when you see how much Jeff Gordon, the 24, is closing on him with 29 laps to go, it's not going to win the race. But if they can make it, it indeed could end up being a 10th, you know, a top 10 finish.
Oh yeah, I think right now he's not really worried about possibly winning this race. He'd love to. He'd just like to be sure he has enough fuel to finish this race.
There is the lead. Gordon enters turn 11 as Labonte exits, and Jeff Gordon chews 1 full second out of Terry Labonte's lead every lap. 28 to go. Fastest cars on the racetrack right now: Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, and Boris Said. Gordon is second, chasing down Terry Labonte. Stewart is third, not able to make any inroads on Gordon. He's about 5 seconds behind the 24. And Boris Said is in 7th place, chasing Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle, and Kurt Busch. There you see Kevin Harvick, who limped into the pits 1 lap ago. All 4 tires were up, but they changed and sent Harvick back out, Steve.
And Mike, Goodyear tire engineers are looking at it along with the members of the 29 team. And it looks like the tires were fine, but in fact, the problem was a loose right rear wheel, loose wheel.
I heard them talking about the right rear, so I was thinking they had a right rear tire flat, but when they came by.
And Terry Labonte has been caught by Jeff Gordon. Let's go back to Labonte's pits, Dick.
And Terry Labonte has Felipe Lopez, his crew chief, in his ear, reminding him to save fuel. The last time he pitted was lap 60. The other thing Labonte keeps hearing from Lopez is what he has got to do in order to earn a top 10 finish this year. This car, owned by Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach, best finish so far this year, a 16th at Pocono. So that would be forward progress.
Another interesting story about the 96 car. Now, I'm just going to lay the elements out there. One thing that you can do at a road course is you can run a little smaller carburetor. Remember, this team had the rules infraction at Daytona because of having a smaller carburetor there. You can't do it with a restrictor plate, but you can do it here at a road course, and a lot of people will do that for 2 reasons: fuel mileage and lack of forward bite with the rear tires.
So Jeff Gordon has become the leader. Once again, he's led 22 laps. Kurt Busch has led 29, and still a lot of different scenarios and strategy to play out on the left-right turns.
And no matter where you view the race from, Jeff Gordon is your leader, the king of the road and the king of INFINEON Raceway. And if you're not careful, you'll be spectating as a driver, right?
Yep. If you don't pay attention to what's going on here, my friend, you will be off the course and up where those fans are watching you.
8 leaders, 9 lead changes, 4 cautions, 4 cars out of the race. And Jeff Gordon, who, as Darrell Waltrip told us on the pre-race show, getting engaged prior to this race, a special engagement for him, maybe his first win of the year, just 19 laps away.
Well, it looks to me like right now he's trying to put a fitting period to that announcement, but he is really running well right now. He's starting to stretch out on not only Terry Labonte, but as well as the 20 car of Tony Stewart.
Came by our low shot right there. She doesn't sound too good. That computer does not know.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of things that the computer doesn't know and the crew doesn't know. Only that driver knows.
Jeff Gordon's led twice. He's the leader right now. It's up on jack stands being worked on in the garage. Now we listened in on Jeff Gordon and team.
Our tires just not, we're just not very good when the tires get hot.
Right here, going to cool them off for you, buddy. You're going to have about a 10-lap sprint to the finish. That's where you've been the best all day, those short runs, man. You're doing a great job with it.
I kind of believe that Jeff Gordon has his hands full, not only with Terry Labonte, but got a wonderful start right there. They've got a big jump on Terry. Ryan Newman's right there, and Greg Biffle. I mean, Jeff's car's not that good right now. The question is, can they get up there and get after?
Passed for 14.
See, Terry Labonte ran some of his fastest laps just before that caution.
That was Eddie DeHaan, Bobby Labonte's spotter.
Caution is out again, and again, I think that's good news for Jeff Gordon. Cool his tires down. Good news for this group right here. Felipe Lopez, Terry Labonte can serve a little.
Jeff Gordon, although king of the road, he's won more road courses than any other driver in the history of this sport, looking for his first win this year. And Jeff Gordon, who first led 21 laps total in the race, the lowest he's been is 12th, retook the lead with 22 laps to go, has that lead as we have under caution just 9 laps to go. And Jeff Hammond, the problems for Tony Stewart continuing as he is falling further and further back. With Jeff Gordon, a 4-time champion, trying to hang on and win this race. Mike?
Stewart's problem has been the restarts. He's been able to go pretty well once the car gets up to speed, but he lost, what, 6 spots on that last restart?
Yeah, well, because of the engine situation, you can't rev it up. You can't wind it up through the gears, so that's really hurting him on a restart.
Jeff Gordon trying to win it going away on tires that aren't sticking quite as well as he'd like at this stage of the race, and Terry Labonte trying to hold on to.
And you just saw right there where Jeff Gordon lunged over there behind the pace car.
Being a former champion and experience will do for you in some situations.
Jeff Gordon scoots away on this restart.
I don't think there's any question that these caution laps are helping Jeff Gordon. His tires don't seem to work that well once they get a little heat in them, and riding around cooling them off has got to be a good thing for him.
Terry Labonte gave Gordon a lot of lead on that restart, and now Labonte's got to deal with Ryan Newman.
But again, I think Terry's short shifted. I just don't think he can be aggressive on that restart. He's got to get that thing into top gear, keep the RPM down, don't burn so much fuel.
He's racing the elements as much as he's racing the competitors.
I know you got to look behind you and say
34 cars on the lead lap.
And look, Mike, I mean, Terry's car is good. Next to Jeff Gordon right now, Terry Labonte's got the second best car.
You know a guy that this race looked bleak for?
And you make you do something that you don't want to do.
6 laps to go.
Yeah. Fleet, light one up, buddy. You all right? Make all those things happen.
Steve Letarte, Jeff Gordon's crew chief.
50 feet. It'll be 5 laps to go.
Now we're sitting here with Terry Labonte in the 96 car. Terry Labonte has not had a top 5 finish.
Head of the field at the end of the day if you play your cards right.
You don't think I lost all this hair by just it falling out for no reason, do you?
I tell you, those.
Second red flag of the day at Infineon Raceway. This one for a 5-car pileup at the top of the hill at turn 2. Let's get out of the race leader's pit. Here's Steve Burns.
Mike, with Steve Letarte. Now, Steve, you've got one of the best, if not the best, road racers in NASCAR history in that 24 car. Is he good enough to hold out for the first win of 2006?
Oh, I know he's good enough for sure. I hope the car is good enough, the fuel size is good enough. There's no doubt in the driver. He's definitely the best on the road courses. I think he's the best everywhere, and hopefully this win right here, you know, if we can bring it home, you know, would be good for us and just get us in the right direction for the rest of the season.
Steve, any concern about gas?
Oh, there's a concern about gas for anybody in the field. Anybody who said there isn't lying. I think we're fine to 110, but I definitely don't want to see a green-white checker. I don't think anybody does. You know, we all work our strategy to 110, but, you know, it is what it is from here.
All right, good luck. Let's go to Dick.
Hangs in there and holds on to second. Maybe he can make it.
Only in Sonoma. Track officials have just gone up and down the line of drivers distributing bottled water.
It's a little hot out there. I'm sure it's a very welcome bottle of water.
Nice touch.
They'll be handing out Grey Poupon next. A slip sliding away there.
Watching and waiting.
Jeff Gordon hoping to win. We have Jeff Gordon, who won here back in 2004, and if I recall, that was an extremely hot day. Jeff led some 92 of the 110 laps in that race, one of his 8 road course wins in his career.
And they've refired the cars and they've gone back under a yellow condition here, so we're much longer. We're going to find out who is the king of the road for sure, Chris.
You like Jeff Gordon's chances to hang on with what you've been seeing? Of course, these last few cautions and then this red flag certainly have had to help Jeff ease some of the pressure from Labonte.
Well, letting his tires cool off is a big help for them. It seemed like his car is fast on cool tires.
This is the 7th race at Infineon where Jeff Gordon has led the most laps, and it's the 3rd time this year he has led the most laps. But he has not won since Martinsville last October.
Well, I think we knew that here and next week at Daytona, he had to make statements. If he's going to be in the top 10.
Spike practice. 3 smooth laps, all going to need. You're better than all of them. Hit your marks and take what it'll give you, man.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
Now, if we're going to get the green with 3 to go, here's one thing that none of these guys want to see, and you heard Steve Letarte talk about it. If we get one more caution, we're going to go into overtime, and trust me, no one wants to see that because we know everyone is fairly close on fuel.
Well, we got tight turns, a slick track, and some pretty beat-up race cars here. Anything's liable to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Gordon and Labonte in Chevys, Ryan Newman's Dodge, Greg Biffle's Ford, pulse hitter Kurt Busch in a Dodge, Carl Edwards 7th, Jeff Burton, Elliott Sadler, Boris Said, and point leader Jimmy Johnson 10th. 31 cars on the lead lap. Here we go for 3 laps to settle it all.
Saw Terry Labonte lagging back just a little bit. Jeff Gordon's going to bring him down pretty slow in this 24 car.
Terry Labonte is holding his breath. He's pushing down on that gas pedal ever so slightly.
And Felipe Lopez, his crew chief, is holding his breath.
Yeah, Philippe's down there smoking about like Tony Stewart's car right now.
Chain smoking.
You see, is Terry slowing down, or is it just getting a run on him?
And Darrell, I think we're going to see that a lot in these last 2.5 laps because of what you talked about. He's short shifting. He's getting the high gear as quick as he can, or the 3rd gear as quick as he can. And
that must really be frustrating Ryan Newman right behind him.
Well, but what it does when you short shift is it'll give you a little shock there because you're using the torque of the engine, not the RPM. Coming downhill here, Terry can just kind of coast through here, keep it in high gear. It's going to be under a lot of pressure right here, getting down in the corner. Matter of fact,
here comes Newman.
Newman's going to go on the outside of Terry here,
and that's going to be hard to do. You just can't get the bite off fire.
Casey Kane has pitted, may have had a flat tire. A lap and a half to go.
Ryan Newman does not need a problem here either. He's another one of those cars that he would love to have a 3rd place finish here because he keeps inching toward the top 10 in points.
Now he's 17th right now. Newman is in the NEXTEL Cup standings. Jeff Burton has climbed to 7th place, looking all over.
Not a whole lot Terry can do right there.
No, he just got to give it up. White flag this time. We know we will not go into overtime because we're on our last lap.
And Biffle is up to 4th.
Boy, Terry's got to hang on because if he ever opens the door, there's a chain up behind him.
There's a whole pack of them.
And they're all looking off.
Jeff Gordon makes it look so easy.
Smooth, baby. Smooth operator.
All he's got to do is just hit his mark for about another half a lap.
Turn 7, final time.
The battle's back there from 3rd to about 8th or 9th. That's where it's going to get exciting.
But Newman got around Terry.
You just wonder, Greg Biffle saw where Terry Labonte was pretty weak getting down into turn 11. He saw it with Ryan Newman.
But turn 11, and he's going to come home with a pretty good finish here.
Scott Pruitt in the tires on the back part of the course. And Newman dropped to the inside to protect the inside of 11 against Kurt Busch. 9th road course win, extending the all-time record for Jeff Gordon and the DuPont Chevrolet. It is the 5th win here for car owner Rick Hendrick.
King of the road right there, boys.
Team Racing and Terry Labonte.
And nice job, Terry Labonte, but still Philippe willing to roll the dice. And
50 laps on field.
And there with Philippe.
He'll be back in the car next week at Daytona.
And Ryan Newman said he had a good car and was looking forward to this race. He'll enjoy a 2nd place finish. Pruitt got out of the tire barrier and came around to complete the final lap in 30th place.
Jeff Gordon, who fell out of the top 10 in points after Michigan, he's going to catapult back up into them. He's going to be 8th in points leaving here.
It's Denny Hamlin who will fall out of the top 10 to 11th. So, yeah, a nice engagement present for Jeff Gordon today.
I got to believe he'll be a pretty happy young man today. She's a happy young lady. There's his future wife. I'm sure she's feeling a lot of relief because Jeff hadn't won this year and he needed to badly, so that's great.
Darrell, I go back to Michigan. We talked about it all week last week. Yeah, they maybe didn't get the finish they were looking for there, but they had a good solid run to lead them into 2 places that we knew he's going to be good. That's here and next week under the lights at Daytona.
Jeff Gordon scores his 74th career NEXTEL Cup victory, 7th on the all-time list. There he is with Tony Stewart, and we'll talk to him in Victory Lane next.
Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon and the 24 Chevrolet. Another great Team Chevy victory. This is your Chevy winning moments.
You guys are awesome! Yee-hoo! The best road racer I've ever seen. Man, you are good. Guys, pit crew, you guys deserve this. You've been better than that car all year long. You guys deserve it. Jeff, spectacular job.
25 of the last 34 NASCAR manufacturers championships and counting Chevy on America, where Jeff Gordon held off Ryan Newman, Terry Labonte, Greg Biffle, and Kurt Busch to pull into victory lane for the first time this year, and Dick Berggren is down there.
And I'll tell you what, there's been a whole line of people here to say congratulations. Philippe, open up that sweater. Look at this. 22.
Terrific for Jeff Gordon as well. Nearly 100,000 fans seeing Jeff Gordon pull into victory lane, and let's go down there.
1 year ago, he had transmission issues, missing his chance for a 5th Infineon victory, but today, the road course king was back on top. Jeff Gordon and the 24 team, like they have so many times in the past, dominant here at Infineon. Welcome back home. A big hug by owner Rick Hendrick. So what do those 2 cautions and the red flag mean for you getting this team back to victory lane?
Man, I didn't know if we were ever going to win another one of these races. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. What an amazing moment this is. Very special weekend for me and this race team to get back to victory lane, for DuPont, for Pepsi, GMAC, Nicorette, the folks at GP and Sparkle Paper Towels. Who am I missing? But it's just been an amazing...
What about for you and this team?
Well, it's been an amazing ride, and I knew that this team was something special. We just haven't had a chance to really show it, and they gave me such an awesome race car this weekend that I had to get them this win, because if we didn't win with this car, we can't ever win, and what a great day, just... kept working on. We weren't the best all day, but we got that track position. It was great. It was awesome.
Number 9 on the road courses, but big picture-wise, he jumps back up to 8th, unofficially in the standings. Steve.
Thanks, Matt. With Ryan Newman, best finish of 2006, best finish here in Sonoma.
Congratulations to Jeff.
Jeff Gordon, masterful display. His chief rival for the title, defending champ Tony Stewart, 28th with engine trouble. And but I mean, what a day for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, I think on a road course, it's easy to predict who will win.
Well, I think right now one thing is that Jeff Gordon really wants to be in this chase for the championship. He didn't like sitting out last year, so you got to believe right now today was a good step in the right direction.
And what should we expect as we go to Daytona?
Oh, the unexpected. Whenever you go into a place like that, under the lights, restrictor plate.
Jeff Gordon, 34 years old, 4-time NASCAR champion. Grew up, actually born about 25 miles from Sonoma. His 9th road course victory to lead all time, and engaged recently this weekend. So happy Ingrid Van de Bosch, his wife-to-be. A nice engagement present for Jeff Gordon pulling into victory lane. Fight to be in that top 10 as they get ready for the chase for the championship. For our entire production team, Jeff Hammond, I'm Chris Myers from the Hollywood Hotel. We'll see you next Saturday night, NASCAR on Fox. Jeff Gordon, your winner here in Sonoma.